If I asked you, give me a working definition of masculinity, what would you say?
Like I think there can be masculinity in like a female and a man. So in a man, I think of like a really big buff dude who is kind of like dominant, but not overly dominant, because then that would lean towards the toxic side.
All right.
But in like a female, I would think of like I think of like a just like a taller, again, like more dominant woman.
I would say to this that masculinity is something that is both caught and taught, right? There are biological realities built into the world. There's differences between the sexes, and that these are good. But then I would also say that there is a guiding vision and ethical system that determines whether masculinity exercised will be virtuous or destructive. Now, there's an important thing to put our finger on here, and that is that she's identifying dominion as something that is just purely negative. But I would ask, is there anything inherently wrong with a man taking the initiative to cultivate, to bring about order and beauty from the world around him? That's servant dominion. That's going back to the book of Genesis, where God created man, put him in the garden, and he designed him as a feature to take dominion. And his biology testifies to this, his physical makeup, it accords with that. And even more so, the differences between the sexes are obvious in nature too, right? Men process information differently. They're perhaps more analytical thinkers and reasoners, and they are more task oriented versus, a woman being more socially oriented, communal, emotional. So these are not bad things. These are not wrong things. But the point is, they're different. And God made men for a particular task, for a particular mission, and he has suited them for that task.